yet. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Real time, real time, real time, real time, real time, real time, Prince Blue. Real time, real time, real time, real time, real time, real time, Prince Blue. Talk that, talk that, talk that, coach, coach, talk that, talk that, talk that, coach, coach, talking entertainment too. Look, we are not the same as you. Look, we don't need a thing, just you. Just make.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? What is up? It is Real Time with Prince Blue. I am your host, Prince Blue. What's going on, everybody? I know that to start, the energy is kind of off, and that's surprisingly because I just got back from the gym, took a shower, so I should be full of testosterone and masculinity and all that stuff. But as I was going over the show I had for you today in the and just taking care of some housekeeping things, I just noticed that I can't believe I have to have this conversation again. And the conversation is, this episode is called Man in the Mirror. First of all, before I start going anywhere, make sure you guys like and subscribe, hit that follow button, share, hit the like button. Please support me, Algo Rhythm Gang. Please help me out, please. Yes, Pat, I forgot. Dr. Prince Blue, for Real Time with Prince Blue. But this episode is called The Man in the Mirror because, like the Michael Jackson song, look in the mirror, you make that change. But I don't what if I don't want to change? What if the problem isn't me changing, it's the problem that everybody else isn't evolving? And that's the problem I seem to be having. So in this episode, I'm going to talk, about how success doesn't just expose my growth or your growth, depending on who you are, but it exposes other people's resentment. And why do folks want to dim your light just to make themselves feel comfortable? We're going to talk about that. And why does staying authentic scare the ones who are scared to evolve? From your fake friends, your hate followers, your bitter followers, to the critics who hate your glow, but they want to love your grind because they want to see you trying to do everything that you can. Like right now, there's 17 people in here, and some people look at that as a lose, but I'm grinding. But to me, that's a win because that's 17 people that could be doing anything else, but they're in here with me, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to break all that down, and I'm going to talk about why changing yourself for acceptance is never the move. And we're going to hurt some feelings, and that's good. I'm all about a podcast about hurting people's feelings. And so let's get into it. My first segment is going to be how people love you when you broke. They love you when you're down, and they support you when you're destructive. But when you're trying to level up, the support, it's just not there. And take, for example, I'll take my Twitter account for example. The one I have now, Real Prince Blue 3. The reason why there's a 3 behind that because there was a 1. That original one was, it was my magnum opus. Would you say? I had over 13,000 followers. It was pretty damn good. And I had a lot of viral moments on that Twitter when I used to troll people, when I used to be unhinged, when I used to say the most god awful stuff to people. And people would like, right? People would, be in my DMs, be like, yeah, I like that, and blah blah. But I noticed with the new one where, I'm more reserved and I pick my spots, and I tweet more positive stuff, and I tweet more stuff about my journey, through academia and and stuff like that. Uh it's just not the same. It don't hit the same. And the reason why it doesn't hit the same, because I noticed that people like when you're just not, when you're just when you're destructive, and they always have something that they can go back to and make themselves feel better. So people was supporting me when I was trolling people, supporting me when I was getting my account taken, getting it back, getting my account taken back. Some of you were hitting me up and was like, hey, can you troll this person? Can you troll that person? And y'all was all for that. But the moment I say, hey, subscribe to my podcast, hey, like this, like that, hey, can you share this? Can you share that? Crickets. And I'm just going to be honest with you. There's more to life than talking about the Eagles 24/7. There's more to life than talking about sports 24/7. I get it. Social media is supposed to be escape. That's okay. But I don't think some of you have an escape. I think that's your real life. I think social media has become your personality. And I can speak to that because a lot of the people that talk a big game on social media and do all that stuff, I've been in your presence and you're nothing like that. Especially the ones that have talked shit to me and said shit to me. I've looked you dead in your face. I've stood across from you. The energy was not the same. So what does that lead me to say? Again, you people, you don't know how to turn it off, or you're so stuck in trying to be somebody on social media, you don't know how to be somebody in real life. And unlike you, I know how to be somebody in real life. I am a father, I am a husband. You know, I am a mental health advocate. You know, I'm working on my academic path and how I can mold and you know, bring my own spin to the criminal justice system and how we can change that. There will be time for the Eagles. There will be time for the Sixers. There will be time for the Phillies. There will be time for pop culture. There will be a time for all of that. But my issue is when you can support me when I'm being unhinged, why can't you support me when I'm doing something positive? That's the part I don't understand. But it makes sense how the most uncouth and unsavory videos go viral, and people that's actually trying to be positive and doing something does not go. For example, people doing crazy shit, going to jail, beating people up, doing crazy shit, those videos go super viral. Videos of people, you know, or post about people getting a new job or graduating or you know, maybe just, you know, getting an apartment for the first time or getting a house for the first time. It doesn't work. And it's not everybody. It's not people. It's also these social media sites, the algorithms. They cater to a certain group of people or a certain content. And you have to damn near bust through that. For another example, I had one of my videos on Instagram. I had a viral video where people was busting their butt on the Peloton and then giving crazy names and having to because you know, on Peloton, when you get to the top of the leaderboard, they read your name off. So people have name like Craven Moorhead and Seymour Butts and Sleepy Joe and stuff like that. So I took a video of that and I did it and put my own caption to it, and it blew up. It was like over like 30 million views. It was crazy. It's been up since January. This week, I get a note from Instagram saying, hey, your video has been reported for it said harassment, and it said making fun of a group of people, being offensive to a group of people. How is my video offensive when it's literally the same video of another video that, by the way, is still up over 1 million views doing crazy? That just leads me to people are sensitive. People hate on you. People just don't understand what it takes to just do your own thing, be yourself, and not get yourself caught up in anything. And people just hate that. People hate that you're yourself. I just find it odd that in a world of where people say, I'm authentically me, I'm doing me, I'm gonna do me. But when you do that, people don't like it. And people hate when you can't change, when people can't change your mind. It's wild, it's crazy. And another thing that people do is people say you need to humble yourself. Why? What is humbling yourself going to do to anybody? And then I've learned this, especially in the past 2 or 3 months ago. This is what happens when you have real friends. Like, I had real friends that was more excited for me and my success and me graduating with my doctorate than I was myself. And I had people who would say, like, dude, like, you need to enjoy this. You need to be excited more. But in my mind, I was thinking, like nobody cares, nobody likes when you lead with titles and all that stuff. But then I started thinking to myself, I don't do that anyway. Like, just me showing up should not make you feel bad. Just because I achieved a certain amount of success shouldn't mean shit. And that's the funny thing about it. It's like what, and then I notice it's always a certain group of people that have to be humbled. Like, no, I don't have to be humble. Like, when I was here 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours banging out my dissertation, nobody was here with me. Nobody was here reading hundreds and hundreds of articles to get one sentence. Nobody was with me when I was working on my research, and I had to grind, and I had to call police chiefs, I had to call police captains, majors. I had to reach out to police officers who hate filling out anything, not to mention the survey. When I had to do that, like, you weren't there. So to tell me to be humble, no, shit, you be humble. I don't tell you to be humble at the McDonald's. Shout out to McDonald's. I don't tell you to be humble at the Foot Locker. I don't tell you to be humble when you're cutting grass. I don't tell you to be humble when you're doing whatever job you're doing. You don't. That is correct. I had a ghostwriter. I had 72 writers. I Beyonce that thing. But it's crazy. It's like, why? It's like when people say humble yourself, they really mean, hey, man, like, you're doing a lot, I'm not. So, you want to bring it down a little bit? No, we will not. Being humble is for the weak. There's a such thing as being cocky and being confident. And if you're cocky sometimes, so what? There's a thin line, but so what? Sometimes I think that being cocky is more about the person that's saying you're cocky than the person himself. Man, he cocky. Why? Because he's sure of himself. She's sure of herself. She don't want to change his mind. Like, that's crazy. That is wild to me. So when you try to tell me to be humble, no, you be humble. I'm not doing that. No. And then that leads me to my third point, which is how being real, it set off backlash. Like, it gives you, it brings backlash. Being yourself. And I mean, I'm going to keep bringing up this example. November, I mean, it's no secret, I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, I'm Black, but a lot of people didn't know that, or they try to pretend they didn't know that. I mean, if you look at how I presented myself and how I move, you saw it. But the problem is, once I said it and I quote unquote validated how you feel about that, then that's when people had a problem. And I'm here to tell you, I still don't care. I mean, Who cares? You know, did you care when I was helping you? Did you care when I was retweeting your GoFundMe's? Did you care when I was telling people to support you? Did you care when I was donating to your causes? Did you care then? You know what's funny? People pick and choose when they want to be upset with your ideologies or when you keep it real and things of that nature. Because I hope y'all don't think that everybody that cross your path is blue or everybody that cross your path is red, or if they are, that really matters. That, and then when I'm out and about and I'm talking to people, I kid you not, politics never comes up. Never. I just left the gym, and when I'm talking to people in the gym, politics don't come up. Nobody can, because I'm telling you, it's really, if you think about it, it's really not that big of a deal. It's only a big of a deal to the unhinged. And again, that goes to social media. Social media is telling you there's a great divide. You know, people hate people. People hate when you keep it real. No, the people online hate when you keep it real. But the people you interact with every day, they really don't care. I've been, for the past, I want to say almost month, I've been binge watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, I'm pretty sure people know Curb Your Enthusiasm is with it's the show with Larry David, the co-creator of Seinfeld. How he wrote Seinfeld and is super funny and Curb, I will never know because I just cannot get into Seinfeld whatsoever. I can't make it through one episode. And apparently the Costanza character is really Larry David. He wrote that character based on him, but on Curb it's like totally different. But anyway, Larry David goes through his life questioning norms, questioning stupid unwritten rules, and he never let things go. But the most important thing is Larry is real and authentic. And the thing that I like about him the most is the people around him understand that. So they just they know. And whoever doesn't understand Larry and doesn't be you know, hates the way he is, he doesn't give a damn because he's like, people are going to like you, people are not going to like you, but if you're authentically yourself, you know, more times than not, the people that want to be around you are going to be there and they're going to understand you. So, um, you know, it's between that and, you know, some of my closest friends that, you know, I've just learned to have a more level of zero fucks given that it has just, it's just made everything better for me now and going forward. So I don't know. I just feel like people need to understand that everybody is not going to be the way that you think that they should be, and you should be able to understand that and navigate that as an adult. You know, kids, I understand because they're like, why? You know, why can't you just do this? But adults should be smart enough to be like, hey, I like this, they like that. All right, so let's move on. But, you know, for some reason, you know, everybody has to make it be known that which side they're on and why the other side is bad, and it's just stupid. So, you know, that's my beginning on that little thing, and we'll be back after this first message.
I know. You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, I'm here to tell you. It's me, Inked. And I need you guys to head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. Yes, that's right. Trifecta merch is here. It is here for our Trifecta family to show their love and support and advertise for free. Well, not technically for free. You did pay for it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. We're all inclusive. It prints.
So. I found this clip while I was going through Instagram, and it speaks to the quote unquote bad boy culture where, you know, women quote unquote like the bad boy and stuff like that. And it puts it in perspective how can you be a good sociopath, a good psychopath? Let's listen.
Non-psychopathic males who are fairly aggressive keep the psychopaths under control. And so part of the reason that women like men who have some capacity for aggression, but who are still productive and reciprocal, is that men who are productive and reciprocal, who have some capacity for aggression, can keep the real monsters at bay.
So that was Peterson. You know, Peterson drops a lot of gems, and this one, it kind of made sense because when women say, you know, they like the bad boy or they like a guy with a little bit of edge, it seems like the guys that they pick with the little bit of edge, they don't know how to turn it off. So they end up being just all the way psychopaths, and they can't relate. You know, they're violent, they're aggressive, you know, they can't seem to turn it off. And the non-psychopaths, which depending on who you talk to, I guess I could put myself in that category. If there's a time and place. Now, for those who close to me, they'll tell you, like Prince, like he always has to go all the way left. And it's just, I've always been that way. Like I'm either completely calm and laughing and humorous, or I'm completely unhinged and off the deep path. And my wife will tell you that when I get mad, it's like a, I don't know what it is. It's like people say, "Oh, he's like the Hulk," but no, it's like a completely. It's like I'm engulfed in rage, and I can't. It takes a lot of self to self-regulate, but my wife likes that part of me because she knows that if I need to, I can turn up. I can turn up. Versus the man who can't turn up, and the woman is like, if something goes down, I don't think my husband or my boyfriend has it in him to go there and to protect me and protect, you know, the family. And, you know, you call them simps, you call them cucks, or whatever you want to call them, but you have to have some type of aggression. You have to. And I don't mean violent. I don't mean slapping people. I don't mean punching people, pushing people down the steps, or grabbing gats and blowing people away. But I mean like letting people know that you're not the one to be messed with. And I think that's missing from manhood, because men are afraid to, now men don't want to be seen as toxic. All these damn labels that men are getting for just being men. Like there's a reason why we have testosterone, because we need it. It is useful. And we have to learn to tap into that and stop worrying about, oh, the perception, oh, he's toxic, oh, he was mean, he was being a typical male. Like, so what? So what? Like nobody, like I'll be damned if I let somebody disrespect my wife or disrespect my kids. Like no. And number one, your woman will not look at you the same way. Like the next time you try to raise your voice at your woman, she'll be like, well, you didn't raise your voice at the guy at the movies. And you was quiet then, but now you want to yell at me. Let me tell you something. A woman will not let you forget if you ever got punked out. I don't care what she say. Oh, that's okay, baby. I know you got choked out, but you know, it's all right. It's not all right. It's not. So have some type of aggression about yourself. Have some get up. Know that, you know, sometimes, you know, sometimes people are going to test you. Men have this weird thing where sometimes men are like, okay, let me see if that guy really about it. I don't know why. It's so weird. Like, I don't do that. Like, I make jokes, but it's never to the point where I want to see how far I could push this man to see if he'll ever do something to me. No. But there are some men out there that literally do that. They walk around like wolves, and then like, I gotta be the alpha in the room. And those are the psychopaths that Peterson are talking about. They always have to be the biggest, baddest alpha in the room, and they have to let you know about it. True alphas just do their thing, and they lead with their presence, and they drop little nuggets where it's like, I'm not the one or the two. They don't come in loud and boisterous and like, hey man, I don't play that shit. Like, y'all know the guys that be like, when they get ready to fight, they be like, I'm from New York, I don't play that shit. Or I'm from Chicago, I don't play that shit. Like, I never understood what announcing where you're from, where does that put you in the pantheon of getting your ass whooped? Because now if you get your ass whooped, you don't put the whole state of New York in a bad light. You don't put Philly in a bad light. You don't put Chicago in a bad light. Nebraska, whatever you claim, you put in a bad light. Yo, I'm from LA. We don't play that shit. And then you get knocked out. Now people like, well, I done knocked out LA. I thought you was from LA. You don't play that shit. Well, you played it tonight. Now you on the ground. And your wife standing over you like, So stop announcing where you from before you about to fight or get into a confrontation, because it really don't amount to a whole hell of a lot of beans. And no, I would never say I'm from Trenton, I don't play that shit, because who cares? First of all, if I was to say I'm from Trenton, people will automatically know, don't fuck with him. Like, he's dangerous. Because if y'all know, y'all know. We don't play that shit in Trenton. We don't play that. So all your New Yorks, your little funky little boroughs. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Staten Island. I'm from Queens. I'm from Manhattan. I'm from Manhattan. What the fuck is a Manhattan anyway? What is a Manhattan? Yeah. So there you go. That's how I feel about that. So be a non-psychopath, but have aggression. Being a psychopath 24/7, you're going to end up in jail or on an episode on freaking ID channel. Yeah, I said it. We'll be back after this next message.
It's always lit over at ajsrantroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to ajsrantroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't.
Shout out to the sponsor, AJ's Rant Room. That's right. Go get your gear. Go get your merchandise. Go hit up my sister Ink. She has merchandise too. I'm actually wearing one of her shirts. No hetero. You want to hear a funny story about this shirt? it's supposed to say no hetero. But obviously, my friend can't spell. So it says no hetero. Funny story. Me, the wife, and the kids, we went to Carowinds. We went to an amusement park. And I wore this shirt for the very first time. So I'm walking around and everybody's looking at my chest. And I'm like, yo, this shirt is a huge, people love this shirt. They keep looking at the shirt. They like the shirt. They're saying, I like your shirt. I like your shirt. And then I look down and I'm like, wait a minute. No hetero. The damn shirt supposed to say no hetero. You know, it's supposed to be a play on no homo. It says no, it's supposed to say no hetero. It says no hetero, but it still works. And I'm going to support my friend. I don't know why mine say this, but I love it. I love my shirt. I'm gonna wear it, but make sure y'all support ajsrantroom.com. He has other shirts spelled correctly. Okay. Have fun. Make sure you go to ajsrantroom.com. This next clip, I know Father's Day isn't till next month and it's far away, but this clip really resonates because I think a lot of people forget how important a father is in this era of I don't need a man, single mother households, child support era, we don't need daddy, all this stuff. So I want to play this clip about what goes on in a father's head every day.
A father never asks for much. He never has, and he never will. That's just the kind of man he is. The kind who works without complaint, who carries burdens in silence, who gives without expecting anything in return. He won't tell you about the sleepless nights spent worrying, the sacrifices he made so you wouldn't have to, or the times he wished he could do more. He won't say how tired he is, how heavy the weight of the world feels on his shoulders. But no matter how tough it gets, he keeps going. He keeps showing up, because that's what fathers do. They don't ask for recognition. They just want to see you safe, happy, and growing. They give everything, even when it seems like there's nothing left to give. And one day, you'll look back and realize he never asked for much, just for you to be happy, just for you to see that he tried. So don't wait. Don't wait for a special occasion to thank him. Don't wait until it's too late to appreciate the love he's given in quiet, unnoticed ways. Tell him now. Show him now. Because all he's ever wanted is for you to notice him the way he's always noticed you.
Denzel makes anything sound better. That was somebody did that and they put Denzel's voice to it on AI and it was perfect. But that quote, that is 100% true. People don't understand as a father the things that go through your head multiple times a day, where it's no other reason than you being a man and you being a father and you just worrying. Like, I know people say mothers worry, but fathers is a whole different type of worry. Like I have a daughter, and the way this world is, like, sometimes I think about, when she goes to college, when she goes away, how fast can I get there if something's wrong? How fast can I get there if she's hurt? Like, how would I handle when a man breaks her heart? How would I handle if somebody makes her feel uncomfortable? Like, these are the things that I think about. The things I think about when my wife's out, when she's leaving work at night, and she has this thing where she always calls me on the way home. Like, she calls me when she's leaving the office until she actually gets in the car and starts driving home. Before I started the show, we would talk all the way up until the show, but I got to get up here and be ready for the show, stuff like that. Like, these are the things I think about. My oldest is about to go to school. I think about, him being away from home for the first time. all this stuff, this is what fathers think about. The sacrifices that you make. The you being uncomfortable so everybody else can be comfortable. These are the things. When I was growing up, when I was in elementary and middle school, I remember my dad would, before he would go to work, he had to get up like around 4 in, and it was a time where he would put a cold washcloth on my face, and he would wake me up, and it was, to tell me, that he loved me, or he would let me know that he left lunch money, or whatever the case may be. And then one day I asked my dad, I said, Dad, like, why do you wake me up just to leave me money, or just wake me up in general? And he would tell me, because I always want you to know that bed you sleeping in, that money I'm leaving, it's not just appearing out of nowhere. It's because I'm getting up and I'm going to work, and eventually you're going to have to do the same thing. And you need to understand that whatever values you have to make sure you instill that in your children. And it makes sense to this day. Like, all the times where my kids saw me get dressed, put on my uniform, and I have to leave a family function, all the times we would be celebrating Thanksgiving and I would have to eat Thanksgiving and then go take a nap because I had to get ready to go to work. Hold on, let me address something real quick. And now he doesn't take his dad calls. Listen, that's why you can't listen to the comments. The reason why I don't necessarily have like a super fervor to answer my dad call, because my dad calls me 20 times a day asking me the same thing over and over and over and over. So sometimes I think you can skip a conversation or two. And number one, if I'm in the car, I only see my friends once a year. So they're literally in the car with me, and I'm trying to talk to them, catch up with them, be in the moment. And my dad's calling me to ask me, how's the weather down there? What you doing? What's going on? I'm like, Dad, the same thing is going on 10 minutes ago when you called. So they try to make it seem like I just don't be answering, blah, 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 blah. They're not getting these phone calls 20 times a day. And I know people come be like, you should be happy your dad calls you 20 times a day. I am very happy, but it's a lot. But anyway, fathers have a responsibility that I think they should not take lightly, and women should not take lightly. It's been too much of a rush to demonize fathers. The whole mother gets the father, and mother get the children automatically. Mothers is the super nurturers. I'm seeing videos where mothers are putting kids in ovens. Mothers are leaving kids in the car while they go work out, while they go club. I just saw one video where a woman left her kids alone over the weekend so she could go party. The kids managed to get outside and was walking around, and police were called, and they found out that the mother left the kids alone for the weekend. So again, we need to make sure that fathers understand and know that they are needed, they are wanted, and they are respected. And we'll be back after this next message. All right. This is gonna be I said what I said where it's just Nene, please just help me out.
I said what I said.
A lot of average dudes out here expecting this king treatment from us queens. A lot of guys out here, they are a 6 or 7 at best.
They are a 6 or 7 at best.
And they feel like we're supposed, first of all, you're approaching a 10. And I would say this is.
Where's the 10? Is the 10 in the room with us? Is the 10 in the room with us? You sitting up there looking like a whole bottle of Pepto-Bismol. Or what's those damn marshmallows? A peep. A pink peep. And you talking about you a 10. Now, if I tell her to be humble, I'll be wrong, right? But she's saying a lot of guys are 6 or 7s at best. But a lot of those 6 or 7s are married, are with people. But you're on a podcast calling yourself a queen alone. Because you're waiting on a 10, I guess. A 10, you want to be a 10 with a 10 and be a 20?
It's probably more prominent over 45. When you're dating over 45, these men got gout. They have bad knees.
She is going hard, y'all.
They sleep with a CPAP.
This is what I'm talking about. Where remember the first video? Men need to have some form of aggression. He's sitting there, let her talk bad about men. He's not interjecting. He's laughing. He's having a good time. And she's talking about you, 6 or 7. I bet you she don't think you're a 10. And you're sitting up there. She's going hard. She's talking about men over 45 have gout. If men over 40 have gout, what does women over 40 have? I'll wait. No, because modern science has helped y'all stop father time or mother time. Y'all get BBLs, you got the baby hair slicked back, you got the wet and wavy look going. You probably got a corset on, a girdle on, packing in all that over 40 goodness. That wig look like it comes fresh out of the box. But most men are 6 or 7s. Okay, Queen, go ahead.
They do. I've been there, done that. You are a 7 at best, boo. And then you want to tell me, oh, you need to do this. And you got me straight.
Yeah.
Tripping.
Yeah.
You need to do this, you need to do that. You know what men are doing that? Husbands. They're husbands. And their wives allow them to lead, so they know that if their husband is telling them to do something, that is for the better, it's for the betterment of them and the family. That's all this, like, I did this new era of these older women these older single women that buy wine in a box and drink all night, sit home and talk about their 82 degrees and then go to the bedroom and pleasure themselves with the lawnmower 3000. That's all. I mean, what else is there?
Because at the end of the day, think about it. When we're in our 40s, we can date the daddy or the son. They honest. So why pick the daddy?
Now, can you imagine? Let's switch roles. Can you imagine it was a 40 or 50-year-old man up there that's saying he could date the mother or the daughter? What will we be saying? Predator, pedophile, you would be calling it predatory behavior. But when a woman says she could date the son or she could date the son or the father, it's okay, right? It's cool, right? And what kind of a flex is that? Why do you want to date somebody that's so young and hasn't lived their life yet? Again, the Lawnmower 3000 got their brain scrambled.
We can date the son.
Yes.
These are the aunties of the world. These are the people that you should no longer listen to anymore. If every man is a 6 or a 7, then why don't you have one? You're a 10, so you should be with a 6 or 7 and manipulating them and getting all the money and doing everything you got to do, right? Wrong. No, the Lawnmower. I don't know if the Lawnmower 3000 is on Amazon. Does Amazon even sell stuff like that? Y'all gotta stop with, man. Listen, these RPMs is gonna ruin y'all. That's why y'all ain't got no walls. That's why y'all don't feel nothing no more. Men are out here choking y'all, throwing y'all against the wall, pulling your hair, pulling your extensions out, and nothing. You're like, he was all right. He was all right. You like, no, because no man can match the Lawnmower 3000. How many is that? That's like 3,000 RPMs. Like, no man can match that. No man can match that. So, I mean, it is what it is. But hey, keep up with the podcast and keep talking about the 6 or 7s. I don't know what else to tell you. We'll be back. All right. So thank you, everybody. I want to end this with a hot take. I want to try something out. I'm going to start ending these things with a hot take, and I will get more to it, but I want to test this out a little bit. This is my hot take for the end this show. And I know that some people may be like, huh? But just hear me out. The Bruce Springsteen hate, we got to stop. We got to stop. We got to stop. Y'all don't like the man politics. Y'all don't like the man ideology. Fine. Who cares? But fix your mouth to say that this man ain't one of the greatest musicians of all time. I gotta call Cap. This is where you're just letting your hate for the person influence your hate for the craft. Like, Bruce Springsteen is a genius. Like, I like, we got this thing to where we don't like a person and we can't separate that from the art. This is no different than now everybody hates Hulk Hogan. Like, you hate Hulk Hogan. Why? Because he said the N-word. So what? Who cares? He's on the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. He's the reason why wrestling is what it is today. Bruce Springsteen is one of the greatest musicians of all time. You can't say rock and roll without bringing up Bruce Springsteen. You just can't. I know you want to, but you can't. All you people that, quote unquote, this is the same person that wrote Born in the USA. The same thing that you veterans still play, you patriots still play, America still uses as a rallying cry. A liberal wrote Born in the USA. But you say that man is not one of the greatest of all times. I call cap on that. You may hate me. First of all, you may be thinking, what is a black man doing listening to Bruce Springsteen? Because it's great music. I enjoy it. Philadelphia, Born in the USA, Born to Run. Fire. Did you know that Bruce Springsteen wrote Fire? That was his song that the Pointer Sisters sung. A great black pop gospel R&B group. The Pointer Sisters. Fire. Phenomenal song. Look it up. Bruce Springsteen wrote that. Yes, he said some things that I don't agree with politically, but the music still stands. All right? That's my hot take. You're not going to get me to hate Bruce Springsteen. I'm sorry. It's just not going to do it. And a lot of you that talk about, oh, I hate Bruce Springsteen. I hate Bruce Springsteen. Y'all got other people in your music with worse character. Which is weird, Lynn, that he doesn't support our troops, but he wrote Born in the USA, which the troops use as a rallying cry. I agree with you, Julie. And that's the thing with some of these entertainers. And that's why me personally, I have learned to separate the artist from whatever their personal stuff is. Because when you start getting into political ideologies and all this stuff, you're going to drive yourself crazy. These people are entertainers. They're not senators. They're not Congress. They're not president of the United States. They're not writing laws. They're not doing any of that. They're just influencing their fan base and making more money. That's all they're doing. So I agree. I'm just listening to the music and I'm enjoying the music. And that's why Bruce Springsteen, love the music. Politics, not so much. I'm just going to focus on the music. And that's my hot take. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me for this episode. Next week, I'm going to make sure I get back to what I do best, and that is breaking down more viral clips and speaking on more things. But you know what? This week, it really wasn't a lot going on that I want to talk about, but I happen to found a couple of things, and that's good. So I'm going to get out of here because I want to see the Knicks get their backs blown out and go home. Bye, Knicks. Aren't the Knicks in Manhattan? Isn't Madison Square Garden in Manhattan? Stinks. The Knicks stink. The New York Knickerbockers. Stupid ass name. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Again, Real Prince Blue, all the platforms are down there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Follow Real Prince Blue across all platforms. Make sure you hit that notification button on YouTube. And I am out of here. I will see y'all next week, next Thursday. Peace out.
Come through. Real time. Real time. Real time.